Let's go back to the article, and we're going to start on the 10 ways to up your protein intake. Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is for women and men over 30 who wants to achieve success in their fitness journey. And I'm going to help you do just that. But first, I have to ask you, do you want to decrease your body fat? If yes, I'll share with you how much protein you will need to achieve that and 10 ways to up your protein intake. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Are you looking for a personal trainer that will focus on you to help achieve success in your fitness journey? If yes, please book your in-person or Zoom one-on-one personal training sessions with me, Christian Evans, at christiansweightsuccess.net.
Thank you for tuning in to the Success Fitness Podcast. Hopping right into it. You want to decrease your body fat. And in order to decrease your body fat, honestly, you have to eat more protein. But you also have to ask yourself, am I getting enough protein? Now, I came across this article from Lisa Fields on myfitnesspal.com titled, Are You Eating Enough Protein? Published on January 10th, 2023. Now, a little bit about the author is that Lisa Fields is a full-time freelance writer who specializes in health, nutrition, fitness, and psychological topics. Her work has been published in Reader's Digest, WebMD, Women's Health, Shape, Self, and many other publications. A former lifeguard, Lisa swims regularly to stay in shape. You can read more of her work at writtenbylisafields.com. So once again, this article titled, Are You Eating Enough Protein? Will be in the description, and it is published on myfitnesspal.com. In addition, this article is going to answer the question of how do we decrease our body fat? And it's going to give us 10 ways to up our protein intake. So we're going to get right into the article, starting off with, when you hear the term protein intake, you might just think about building muscle, but it's much bigger than that. Protein is essential for our bodies to work properly from head to toe. Getting the right amount of protein is important and depends on each individual. You can think of protein as the worker bees of your body. The body doesn't store protein at all. The proteins of your body, made up of individual components called amino acids, are acting as the manpower of movement, the hard-working immune system, and carriers of oxygen in your blood, just to name a few roles. Each protein has a job and is doing that job pretty much all the time. Protein rarely sits around idle in your body, nor is muscle simply stored protein. When it comes to muscle, dietary protein is essential for ensuring your body has the necessary building blocks, amino acids, to maintain and build lean body mass. Without a surplus of available amino acids, muscles will not grow in strength or size. Of course, protein in the body is not enough to build muscle. Adding resistance exercise to your daily routine gets you on the fast track to muscle growth. 9 out of the 20 possible amino acids are essential, meaning the body cannot make them on their own. They must be ingested. Animal proteins are complete proteins because they contain all 9 essential amino acids. Plant-based proteins are not all complete proteins, but as long as you eat a varied diet with lots of sources of protein, you can meet your complete amino acid needs. The exception to this is tofu, which is a complete protein, but can be paired together to easily meet your amino acid needs. For example, eating beans with brown rice would fit the bill, and tofu is another great plant-based complete protein. You know what? I've been jonesing for pizza lately, but I'm trying to get better at eating better, not eating out so much, and subscribing to the we got food at home mentality. So I chose to cook what I bought from Sam's. Salmon prices have been so high, but Sam's had it $5 off today. Last week, I found a bag of quinoa there for about $8. Since my vegetable supply of meal prep is running low, I also picked up some fresh broccoli. By the time I realized it, I had cooked everything in my e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners. Not only will you get 3 recipes for one high-protein meal under 600 calories, you'll also get a free workout ebook. Get 10% off when you sign up to my weekly newsletter. The link will be in the description and the link tree in my bio. Download your copy today. A few weeks ago, I purchased a complete plant-based protein powder supplement. It was made by Dimetized. You know what? I actually shot the video and I have not edited, but I did post some pictures. I think I created some reels, a reel or two. And that was the first time I personally have ever tried a complete plant-based protein powder. It was something just different that I wanted to try out, and I saw that it was available on my Sam's app, and I purchased it. I think it was maybe about $28 and $30, and it had a good taste. I believe it was vanilla, but what stood out to me, it was complete. I've had, I believe it was a Orgain plant-based protein powder. Now, for every 2 scoops, that brand gave me, I think, 21 grams of protein, right? And for the longest, I thought I was getting at least like 40 because I saw on the front cover, it said 21 grams of protein, right? I'm like, all right, cool in the game. I'm gonna get 21 grams of protein per scoop, but this is why reading is important. And it wasn't until later on that I looked at the 2 scoops made the 21 grams of protein. I'm like, oh, so I haven't been getting enough. But this complete brand, or this complete protein powder that I purchased from Dimetized, it had 25 grams of protein per scoop. I read it like several times. I'm like, I want to make sure because I want to get more bang for my buck, make sure that I don't have to take 1,000 smoothies or make 1,000 smoothies in order to get the adequate amount of protein intake that I need for my body. And if you don't know your adequate amount of protein that you need for your body, my new ebook, How Many Calories Should I Eat? It will give you your daily caloric as well as macro intake. Your macros are your carbs, your fats, and your proteins. It'll give you your daily recommended, I don't want to say dosage, but RDA. Your RDA of how many calories you should eat and how many macros you should have. But I will have that linked in the description. But going back to the protein powder was good. Would I get it again? I would, but the only reason why I'm not really on that one right now is because a lot of times that brand does not fill up to the top. They don't fill the protein up to the top. This is no shade. This is actual, just what happens. And I found another brand, but it's a whey protein. It's not a complete plant-based protein because I'm not on a quote unquote solely plant-based diet. But for those who are, I will have that link in the description if you want to go ahead and try that out. Going back to the article. So how much protein do you need? Protein has a recommended dietary allowance, RDA, level of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. However, this is a technical and the minimal daily average intake level to meet the requirements of 97 to 98% of Americans. So while this is a good starting place, there is certainly a lot of wiggle room based on individual lifestyle and personal goals. You may have heard you need 0.8 to 1 gram of per kilogram for body weight of protein. I really hate when they do kilograms. I'm sorry. I have a tough time with that. I'm sorry about that. This recommendation is based on the minimal amount of protein to preserve the muscle mass you already have during weight maintenance. However, if you are active, trying to lose weight or gaining muscle, you likely need more protein to reach your goals. For example, strength and endurance athletes need 0.5 or 2.8 grams per pound of body weight per day, says Leslie Bonchi, MPH, RDN, a registered dietitian based in Pittsburgh. Those trying to decrease body fat but maintain muscle may consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. That was kind of tricky to say. That's why tracking your protein intake with an app like MyFitnessPal is ideal, since you can see how much you're presently consuming and make changes from there. So I want to stop there. You heard me fumbling, going back and forth. I have a hard time with the kilogram type of thing. A lot of people are still on the metric system, and I guess that's fine. And what we're here in America is on what they call the imperial system. I don't like the kilogram thing because it's like I don't use it. You know what I mean? I'm really not sure how many people that I know within my circle personally use it. So when I'm reading an article, and we're talking about body weight, it's this whole kilogram thing. And I think the language needs to start being clear for the audience of who you know what I'm saying, where you're at. But I guess, from a worldwide standpoint, maybe more people use the metric system versus the imperial system. So there's that. So even within this article about how much protein you need, there are some things that I agree with. I think she did say this in here about 1 gram of protein per body weight, right? So given more context into that is that I've also read articles and came across more studies about it's 1 gram of protein per desired body weight. So this article doesn't say that, but I just want to give you a little bit of context, into that. So let's just say if you are, I'm just throwing out just a wild number here, 200 pounds. If you are 200 pounds right now, and based off of one calculation, you would need 1 gram of protein per body weight. So you would need a recommended 200 grams of protein each day. But if your desired body weight is 170 pounds, right? Then it's 170 grams of protein per day because that is your desired body weight. So again, this is why you always want to research. You always want to not just take one article or one podcast, even the article that I'm going to put in here, even the podcast that you're listening to right now. Always do more research to see where you can find consistencies and inconsistencies at to make the best decision for you. Going back to the article, many eating styles suggest using a percentage of your total calories to determine your protein needs is sufficient. While this is a decent guideline, it doesn't account for your unique body and personal goals. Therefore, determining your general protein needs is best defined by using your weight. More formulas using kilograms as the body weight measurement. You can easily convert your weight into pounds to kilograms using this formula. And like I just said, I don't care for the kilograms and all that other kind of stuff. So going back to the article, your daily protein needs. The range of recommended protein varies for different populations. You should consider protein intake as a range to experiment with, not a set in stone, never miss number. Working with a range gives you flexibility based on the day's activity levels, hunger, the way your body feels, and desired outcomes. These guidelines are based on several sources of expert associations in fitness and nutrition. While this is a useful guide, it's best to consult a physician or registered dietitian, nutritionist, to determine your ideal protein range. So it gives you an ideal protein range based off of weight. And again, this article will be listed in the show notes and the description. New research is beginning to look not just at how much protein is needed daily, but also how and when it is consumed. It seems to make a difference on body composition, satiety, and even athletic performance if protein is spread out throughout the day, instead of eating more heavily at one time of the day. Research has shown interesting results that spreading total protein needs over the day evenly is more effective at stimulating muscle synthesis and may translate to an overall healthier body long term. So not only is it important to get a daily amount of protein, when you get it plays a factor. I go back and forth whether to drink my protein shake solely after working out or before. I've tried both. I don't really care for anything to be on my stomach or my system pre-workout other than, coffee or some juice or water or green tea. Usually protein smoothies are a little thicker for me. And I don't really care for that feeling while working out. Don't get me wrong. I've tried it and I'll do it, but I don't do it frequently. So the timing, I was always taught, to intake it after you work out. But I've also been reading some articles about the benefits of taking it before you work out. And if you want to consider that a pre-workout, technically you can, because did you or did you not drink it prior to working out? Again, asking definitions for certain terminologies is so crucial in 2023 and going forward. But You can kind of determine that as far as for yourself and just experiment. There is no one way. There is not one cookie cutter way to do certain things or to kind of go with somebody else says. You have to do what's best for your body. Now, let's go back to the article, and we're going to start on the 10 ways to up your protein intake. Imagine a non-pharmaceutical performance device that can help you breathe easy, reduce exercise fatigue, and shortness of breath, all while improving your cardio performance. It's called the Breather Fit. The Breather Fit is evidence-based, drug-free respiratory muscle training, or RMT for short. It's designed to help athletes of all levels, elite military professionals, first responders, and people with physically demanding roles like you to gain an elite performance edge. Unlike most other respiratory trainers, Breather Fit trains both inspiratory and expiratory muscles. The independent dial system allows you to create highly targeted training protocols as well. With over 2 million units sold, Breather Fit is the next evolution in RMT. It was developed from the success of the Breather Health device. It has also been used in clinical applications to help chronic respiratory illness and help patients regain function and quality of life. Simply put, the RMT protocol designed to work with Breather Fit means working out more effectively and accelerated recovery from your workout. With Breather Fit, all it takes is 10 breaths for 2 sets, twice a day, 6 days a week. You can also record your performance to get useful and timely feedback with the Breather Coach app. Breather Fit is your secret weapon to maximize performance and meet your personal best. With Breather Fit, you work hard, but breathe easy. Use my code FITBREATHE at checkout to get 20% off at pnmedical.com/product/breather-fit. The link will be in my show notes. Number 1, buy protein-rich varieties of foods you love. When you're in the mood for pasta, you don't have to eat the refined carb-heavy noodles you grew up on. Supermarkets now stock alternative protein-based options made from chickpeas, red lentils, or other ingredients. Consider a higher protein version of a familiar food such as bean-based pastas. Banchi says they are much higher in protein and fiber, so they'll keep you fuller longer. You can also bake with protein-rich alternatives to traditional flour, including bean and nut-based flours, or shop for ready-made products such as higher protein cereal, oats, higher protein bread, higher protein pancake mix. Number 2, double up on protein containing ingredients. When you're trying to up your protein intake, adding extra protein to your meals makes it easier to increase the amount you eat without having to prepare extra dishes. For example, add an extra egg to a pancake mix or a dollop of green yogurt to your hearty chili. Number 3, sneak protein into existing dishes. You can increase your protein intake without making protein the focus of your meal or snack. Find ways to integrate protein-rich ingredients into your current diet. Start with familiar foods and embellish with more protein. Pure cannelli beans and add them to macaroni and cheese. Let me restart that sentence. Puree cannelli beans and add them to your macaroni and cheese. You can also add nutritional yeast to popcorn or mix pasta sauce with plant-based sausage or veggies. Number 4, up your bean intake. One of the most bioavailable sources of protein is often underappreciated. Black beans in particular offer 13 grams of protein per serving. They're high in protein and fiber and an inexpensive pantry staple. You can buy in bulk. If you need somewhere to start, here are 5 easy ways to use beans. And this hyperlinks to another article that we will not read right now. Number 5, include dairy. You may think of calcium when you think of dairy products, but don't forget milk, yogurt, and cheese also contain protein. Make oat milk with milk instead of water and add peanut butter or nuts, or even more protein, suggest Banchi, or add non-fat dry powder to peanut butter to boost the protein. If you're sensitive to lactose, you can also try plant-based options like soy and pea milk, which also contain protein. Number 6, embellish dishes with nuts or seeds. Many people eat nuts and seeds by the handful as a snack, but they're versatile ingredients that go well with many entrees and contain protein and micronutrients. Consider adding whole or chopped nuts or seeds to main courses. Unsweetened, unsalted varieties work best. Sprinkle nuts or seeds in salad, grain bowl, add it to a pasta dish, or chopped in a stir fry. Recommends Banchi. Since nuts and seeds are energy dense, make sure to pay attention to portion size. Number 7, think beyond greens or salad. Instead of focusing exclusively on vegetables, make sure to add protein-rich ingredients to every salad. Grilled chicken or salmon are obvious choices, but you can also add tofu, beans, tuna, and shredded cheese. Number 8, make smart condiment swaps. Using healthy substitutions when preparing certain dishes can save calories, up the protein content. Cottage cheese and Greek yogurt are 2 reliable ways to lower the fat content while maintaining or increasing the protein content for your food. For example, use plain Greek yogurt instead of sour cream for dips or sandwiches. Number 9, add no cook options. Adding protein to your diet doesn't have to be time consuming. It can be as simple as dipping some veggies in protein-rich hummus or filling your grocery cart with no cook items such as canned fish, canned beans, veggie crumbles, yogurt, cottage cheese, milk, and more cheese. Pre-sliced and deli meats can also be an easy protein-rich snack for sandwich filling. Just make sure to watch the sodium content. And last but not least, number 10, make it portable. You don't have to limit yourself to a bag of chips or an energy bar when you're hungry for a snack. Many protein-rich foods are easy to take along and quick to eat. Consider portable protein options for snacks like jerky, cheese sticks, yogurts, nuts, roasted chickpeas, or hard-boiled eggs. So once again, this article I will have in the show notes, written by Lisa Fields, titled, "Are You Eating Enough Protein?" It answers the question we are all trying to do, is how to reduce body fat, and gives us 10 ways to increase our protein. If you found inspiration in today's podcast and would like to support, then sign up to my weekly newsletter, the Success Fitness Newsletter. You'll get access to my new ebook, How Many Calories Should I Eat? It's a guide with resources within to find your daily caloric and macro intake to ensure success in reaching your fitness goals. You'll also get access to my private Facebook community, Success Fitness Family, and weekly emails when this podcast publishes every Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link to sign up to the Success Fitness Newsletter will be in the description. Thank you for listening to the Success Fitness Podcast. And remember this, if it's not making you stronger, chant more weight, more weight, more weight. Peace out.